All right, so one more time. What's the difference between listeners and subscribers? If we go back to our code and we look at our front.php file now, we now have 2 subscribers, and all we're setting as a subscriber is an instance of our subscriber class. Because of this, we can specify however many listeners we want inside of the class. We can specify things like priority inside of that class. And doing those things within the class makes a lot more sense for organization. Right now, we replaced 2 lines, which had add listener in them, to add subscriber lines, but this could have easily been 10 lines of adding listeners, and then we add 2 subscribers instead of the 10, because those listeners might be highly related to one another and actually belong to one subscriber class. So using this structure will probably pay off more down the road. However, listeners are valuable in themselves because sometimes you will want to specify a priority, for example, inside of the front.php file. It could be very different depending on your application. But for listeners that are going to work the same regardless of the application, it makes more sense to wrap them in a subscriber instead. Now you have a sense of how to add events and then add listeners and subscribers to those events. And this can make your application just bloom in terms of flexibility. Instead of forcing people to add their own code to your framework.php file or whatever other core files are part of your application, you can extend it by adding these events and adding listeners and subscribers to them. If you use Symfony as a base for your application, these event listeners are really powerful.